What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol AMC for AMC Entertainment, of course. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, yes, this will be an update. A couple of things I want to point out. Firstly, earnings are around the corner here, so please prepare accordingly. Obviously, options traders, you want to know about that because that will impact implied volatility. The next thing I would point out from the daily perspective is that this gap, used to be a gap overhead, has now filled during today's session. You can clearly see that here from the 30-minute perspective. Boom, went up, filled the gap, tapped our 3884-ish zone to close that area overhead. The last thing I would point out from the daily perspective, then we'll talk more nuance on the 30-minute, is the fact that we're kind of smack in the middle of the range, okay? So just using this as your anchor low, this is your anchor high to basically establish the range. Whenever you're in the 50% mark of that range, so that would be around here, call it $40, that's basically where you have no competitive advantage in the market. Here, you can at least say, okay, there's a chance for breakout or reversion to the mean at the top end of the range. Same but is true but opposite at the bottom, right? Reversion to the mean or a breakdown out of the overall range. If that's not clean enough for you, how about this, okay? If we take this as being the range, right? Here's your high and here's your low. Then what about the 50% mark of this range? Well, that's exactly kind of where we're at right now in terms of 3884. So as the chart sits, direction isn't abundantly clear based on the daily time frame. I want to make that known, okay? You'll also sort of see that we have a compressing range. So resistance trend line as well as support trend line. This is not just cherry picking this most recent low. You can literally see anchor and then touch one happens 1, 2, 3, 4 bars later to establish this support trend line. So all things considered, direction is not clear from the daily perspective. Anyone who tells you it is going up or it is going down just simply doesn't understand where we are in terms of location. From the 30-minute perspective, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. We have more of a trend which has been established. Obviously, this is your anchor low, higher low, higher low, higher low, all with higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. Those are all hallmark signs of a new uptrend. So basically, we are on a small 30-minute uptrend here, and we would look for trend continuation, noting that we made a higher high into the end of the day here inside of AMC. What you'll also notice, I'm sure the big thing that everyone's like, why isn't he even saying this as of right now? Obviously, in the post market, yes, we're trading higher at 41.07, 41.20 is the spread there. So let's go ahead and turn on the extended hours session and just kind of see what's going on here. Certainly, big move to the upside, getting into that overhead resistance trend line from in here. It's also the daily 50 SMA, and after that, we have the daily resistance at 41.86. So all things considered, AMC will likely be opening on a gap up for tomorrow's session. A lot can happen between now and 9:30 tomorrow morning. However, here's how I'm going to think about it. Basically, we're opening at a known area of strong resistance as the chart currently sits. So to me, the fact that the daily chart was basically indicating no directional bias here, we're opening at resistance, I would kind of be partial for a fade. Now, it doesn't mean it has to fade and fill the gap to today's high here at that 3884, but what it does mean is I would probably be skeptical of longs, right? I'm not just going to take this on the anticipation that there's going to be a major breakout to the upside. You can already see that in the post market, this upper wick is forming, indicating that yes, there's certainly are some sellers hanging out up here at 41.86. So again, the fade doesn't have to unfold this way, but for me, if we fail to take out the overnight high, so here's the framework for you. If we fail to take out the overnight high, and let's just say for round numbers sake, we open here at 41.50. So here's what it looks like, right? Tomorrow morning, we open here. If we fail to take out the overnight high, which again is right here, 42.40, trade back lower through the open, look for shorts. Basically, you can either do that by selling the stock short or looking at put contracts to take us into 38.84. Now, can we actually do that? Let's come on over to this. And again, hard to borrow. You're going to have to pay a fee there if you do want to short the shares, but put contracts are obviously abundant in terms of volume. Look at this one here, 11,000 shares at that 35 strike. So there's a number of places where there's decent liquidity here in the chain. It would be something that is potentially shortable. That's how I'm thinking about AMC here. Again, opening at this known area of resistance. If it really wants to clear it, if we get the gap and go. So again, here's the scenario for you. If we open here, do something like this, put in a bull flag and break out up and over that overnight high at 42.40, simply look for the next major area of daily resistance. That's at and around. Let's go ahead and throw this as a level on the chart here at, let's see what that is. 44.35 would be the first target. And then after that, yes, you technically can look for higher up to about 48. But again, based on the sideways nature of the chart, based on the fact that we're kind of in this tightening range, I would say very likely for a fade. Only scenario where there is the potential for that big gap and go is if volume wants to support the move. So let's say volume tomorrow morning is on par with 4 million or greater shares per 30-minute bar. look for the gap and go. Look for that momentum play to the upside. But if it's anywhere less than 2 million per 30-minute bar, I would look for the fade for lower here inside of AMC. So those are my thoughts in a nutshell. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.